11, investigation 4. Alright, I need one person from each group to come up and get graph paper for your group.
Do we have to use graph paper? What? Graph paper? Graph paper?
Alright, so investigation 4. We are focusing on collecting, organizing, displaying, and interpreting data. It says statistics is the science of gathering and organizing data. It's the plural word meaning information. So statistics is the science of gathering and organizing data in such a way that we can draw conclusions from the data. So take a look. It says, for example, Patricia wondered which of the 3 activities, team sports, dance, or walking/jogging, was most popular among her classmates. She gathered data by asking each classmate to select his or her favorite. Then she displayed the data with a bar graph. So take a look at the bar graph. What was the popular? Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who would waste so much time doing that?
Researchers do this all the time.
Ivan.
All right. Yes.
Team sports.
Team sports. And how do you know that?
Because on the bar graph has the highest number of students, frequency, number of students.
Okay. So how does the bar graph make it easier to compare the data that we're looking at?
It can help us know whether or not it's easier because whichever bar is higher, you know that is the one that most people chose, and so on, going lower and lower.
Right. So you can see the heights to compare it easier. So one conclusion that we can form from the data is that team sports was chosen by the greatest number of people. What's another conclusion by looking at this bar graph that we can see? Yes.
Do you think one that dance is the least common that people don't like it? Also, make a bar graph.
Eventually.
Yes. Do we get to choose what it's on?
Yes.
Yes. And do we have to interview our classmates?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Does anybody else have a conclusion that they can draw from this graph? Jack.
That people just don't like to dance.
People don't really like to dance in my class. Their least favorite. But team sports is their most favorite.
Yeah.
Looking at the second example, it says Roger wondered how frequently the residents on his street visit the city park. He went to every 3rd house on his street and asked, how many times per week do you visit the city park? Roger displayed the data he collected with a line plot, which shows individual data points. For each of the 16 responses, he placed an X above the corresponding number. So go ahead and look at the line plot. The number of visits to the city park per week. So taking a look at it, for most of the residents surveyed, the number of visits to the city park are between what numbers? Take a look at your line plot. Between what numbers?
0 and 7.
Where the most of them are. It is between 0 and 7, but what's the most? What was it?
0 and 2.
How many? How many?
Oh.
0 has 3.
Okay.
1 has 4, and 2 has 3.
So taking a look at the line plot, how does a line plot show the frequency? how does the line plot show the number of visits to the city per week? With the X's. The X's represent one response. And so if you look at 0, there are 3 X's, so that means that 3 people do not go and visit the park per week.
There's 16.
What was it?
16 people.
How do you know that there's 16 people in all? You counted up the X's, very good. You need to know how many people there were. Alright, go ahead and turn the page to 212. So it says, in this investigation, we will focus on ways in which statistical data can be collected. We will also practice collecting, organizing, displaying, and interpreting the data. Data can be quantitative or qualitative in nature. Can somebody read me the definition of quantitative? Go ahead, Jack.
Just in the blue, where it starts
Right,
with blue
yes.
letters. Quantitative data come in numbers. The population of a city, the number of pairs of shoes someone owns, or the number of hours per week someone watches television.
Okay, and can somebody read me qualitative? Go ahead, Caitlin.
Qualitative data come in categories. The month in which someone is born or a person's favorite flavor of ice cream.
So Roger collected quantitative data when he asked about the number of visits to the park each week. Because quantitative data, it comes in numbers. So it's just like population of the city, the number of pairs of shoes that you have, the number of shirts that you have, number of pants, type of thing. Patricia collected the qualitative data when she asked about the students' favorite sports, because that was really kind of an opinion type of thing. So taking a look at the classified, it says in problems 1 to 5 below, determine what information is collected, then decide whether the data are qualitative or quantitative. So taking a look at number 1, it says Jagdash collects 50 bags of clothing for a clothing drive and counts the number of items in each bag. So at your table with your group, decide whether this is qualitative or quantitative, and decide what information is being collected.
Quantitative, right? It would be quantitative.
I think
Wait, do we write it down?
Talk about it first with your group.
number 1 is quantitative. And now what information do you want to use?
So you're going to decide whether it's quantitative or qualitative, and you're going to tell us what information is being collected. So for number 1, does anybody have it?
We
We do.
we have to write
Kaylee?
it down. Quantitative. She's counting them.
Yes, the number of items, and it is quantitative. So go ahead and put that down for number 1. The number of items, and that it is quantitative.
Wait, the number of items will just be 50.
No, they want to know what is being collected, so it's the number of items. So like the clothing, the number of clothing.
It's quantitative and 50.
Quantitative and the number of items,
It doesn't
or
tell
the
how
number of
much clothing
clothing.
is there though.
But that,
50
it's
bags
okay.
of clothing or supposed to
She's collecting the 50 bags of clothing, so that's the information that is being collected. It's a number.
So what's number 2?
Alright, problem 2 says for 1 hour, Carlos notes the color of each car that drives past his house. So what information is being collected, and is that qualitative or quantitative? Quantitative is like a number type of thing, like the population, number of shoes, number of clothes. Qualitative is more of an opinion.
Yeah, no, it would be quantitative. Because it's an actual thing. It's not just opinion.
It sounds like it.
Because she just said,
Which one's it?
qualitative is more of a person's opinion. For 1 hour, Carlos knows the number of the color of each car that drives past his house. The color of the car is not his opinion. It's an actual quality. No, it's, you believe it's more qualitative than put on qualitative. I believe something different, and that's fine.
Alright, so for number 2, what did you guys get?
Quantitative.
Qualitative.
Qualitative. Why did you guys get qualitative?
Because it's the categories of colors.
It's putting into the
categories.
categories.
Jack and Rylan thought it was quantitative.
I did what?
Rylan,
It doesn't matter that I thought it was something else.
I know.
It's okay if you thought it was something else.
I'm just saying why you.
Yes,
You're just trying to show up.
Yay, Ethan!
But it is qualitative.
He was trying to show up.
Because the information that is being collected is the color of the car. The color of the car. Number 3. Number 3, Sharon rides a school bus home after school. For 2 weeks, she measures the time the bus trip takes. So what information is being collected? And is that qualitative or is that quantitative? It is quantitative. And what information is being collected? Very good. The time of the bus trip.
It says Sharon rides a school bus home after school for 2 weeks. She measures the time the bus trip takes. Would that be quantitative? It kind of sounds like yes, but
No, because it's quantitative. This is like a good guess. Because when I learned qualitative and quantitative,
it's just weird.
because I always said the same thing. There's an L in one of them. Alright, so for number 3, what did you guys get? Quantitative or qualitative?
Quantitative.
Quantitative. Very good. And what information is being collected?
On the bus.
The time of the bus trip. Number 4. You gonna read it? Or are you just, okay, let me read the problem first. Bridget asks each student in her class, which is your favorite holiday? New Year's, Thanksgiving, or Independence Day?
That's a holiday.
Whichever one they give you breaks.
Yeah. You have to,
That would be all of them. Except for
Alright, so Kelvin, tell the class what you got for number 4.
Number 4, I got qualitative.
Yes, very good. Number 4 is qualitative. And the information that is being collected is the holiday. Qualitative.
Does it matter that I put
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to put it on all.
She's saying what's being collected. So in number 2, it was the color of the car. Number 3 is the time.
and then cars would be the information.
Alright, take a look at number 5. This is the last quantitative/qualitative problem that we're going to do.
What about 6?
That's something else that we're going to do.
March